Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Learning German Made Easy. I am Aline Cassidy and I am a German and Russian teacher in the US. I am originally from Germany and I created this YouTube channel because I want you guys to learn German with me. Perhaps you are going on vacation to Germany, Austria, or Switzerland, or perhaps you just want to learn a second language because you think it's fun to do and it really improves the skills of your brain and it is a lot of fun. So let's get started. So, why should you learn a second language? I am going to talk a little bit about my story, standards, what is proficiency, and the Actful 5C. My story. So I started learning English when I was in elementary school, and we had English just as having some sort of contact with a different language. And so I learned a couple of basic words, and then English actually became my core subject in high school because I always knew I'm going to get married to somebody from another country, and lo and behold, that actually happened. And so here I am in the US. Anyway, I am very happy that I had English and that I learned it from a very young age. But I am also able to speak and teach Russian, and also able to speak and teach German. And obviously, I live in an English environment now. All right, so let's talk about language learning. I want you to get to know a couple of things, and I want to explain a couple of background information for those who are really interested in learning another language and want to continuously learn this language. All right, there are different standards, something like interpretive. So that has to do with listening comprehension and reading comprehension. Then there is an interpersonal speaking and writing standard. So interpersonal writing would be texting someone or emailing back and forth with another person. And interpersonal speaking, obviously, that has to do with having a conversation in the different language. And presentational speaking and writing. That means you are able to write about certain topics and you're able to speak about certain topics. And that's what these videos are supposed to help you. I don't want to just make videos with, a bunch of vocab words that nobody is going to remember. I want to give you real life situations and I want to provide to you really quality education, but I want to make it for free. Why? Because I think everybody should just learn a second language. I know so many languages and it's just awesome to learn a different language, and it's a lifelong learning, and you will really know how much your mother language skills also develop by learning a different language. All right, what is proficiency? Now, it is a way of measuring how proficient a person is in a particular world language standard that goes from novice low until distinguished. So as you can see in the graphic up there, novice low is at the very bottom and distinguished at the very top. That means this kind of made like a circle, kind of like a funnel. That's because we're going to circle around in a certain area, in a certain proficiency level, and we're going to hit different topics. And then we're moving on to the next level of proficiency, and we're going to hit the same topics, but we're going to learn how to say more. So what does proficiency mean? It is almost like climbing a mountain. You will need to study vocabulary and grammar in order to be able to just say more. Let's take a look at what different levels of proficiency look like. So we have some example here. Now, what kind of ice cream do we see? We see vanilla ice cream, chocolate vanilla ice cream, chocolate vanilla, and strawberry ice cream. And my students would know right now that chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream is called a Neapolitan ice cream. Now, let's take a look at these sentences here. For the vanilla ice cream, we say ice cream, chocolate, cold. Is this a complete sentence? No, it's not. But do we know the person is talking about ice cream? Yes, certainly. Do they talk about vanilla ice cream? No, because they used the wrong vocab word. but that's okay. So this is called novice low. And as you're starting to learn a language, you will have a lot of novice low phrases that you will use. Then we move on to chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream. I eat ice cream cone. Now, my students in class would tell you that it would say, I eat the ice cream cone, right? So there's the article missing. And then they would also say, oh, you can add some other information. Now, can we understand the sentence? Yes. Is the vocab used correctly? Yes. So this is an improvement, and this is called novice mid because we're actually using a full sentence with memorized phrases. Moving on to novice. Hi, I like ice cream. I eat ice cream in dessert. My favorite ice cream are chocolate. It is delicious. Do we understand what kind of ice cream the speaker is talking about? Do we understand that the speaker is talking about preferences? Do we understand that the speaker also is talking about an opinion? Yes, we do. Is it grammatically correct? No, I eat ice cream for dessert, for example. Or my favorite ice cream is chocolate. So this is very important to understand. When you're learning a different language, you will sound kind of like this, and you will get more and more proficient. The more vocab you practice, the more grammar you have, and the more you practice our standards. The more you practice reading in the language, listening to someone speaking in the language, or talking to someone in that language, or writing or speaking about yourself or a different topic in that language. Communication. So we're diving into the 5C of ACTFL. That is American Council of Teaching Foreign Languages. Okay, so they have created 5Cs. And the first one is communication. So we communicate effectively in more than one language in order to function in a variety of situations for multiple purposes. Now, this is a very high arching goal. In order to get there, lots of mini steps have to be taken. There's interpersonal communication. Learners interact and negotiate, meaning in spoken, signed, or written conversation to share information, reactions, feelings, and opinions. Interpretive communication. Learners understand, interpret, and analyze what is heard, read, or viewed in a variety of topics. In presentational communication, learners present information, concepts, and ideas to inform, explain, persuade, and narrate on a variety of topics using appropriate media and adapting to various audiences of listeners, readers, or viewers. Culture. Cultures interact with cultural competence and understanding, relating cultural practices to perspectives. Learners use the language to investigate, explain, reflect on the relationship between the products, practices, and perspectives of the culture studied. Connections. Connections is our third C. It means connect with other disciplines, acquire information and diverse perspectives in order to use the language to function in academic and career-related situations. So, learners build, reinforce, and expand their knowledge of other disciplines while using the language to develop critical thinking and to solve problems creatively. Acquiring information and diverse perspectives. Learners access, evaluate information and diverse perspectives that are available through the language and its cultures. The fourth C is comparison. Develop insight into the nature of language and culture in order to interact with cultural competence. Language comparisons. Learners use the language to investigate, explain, and reflect on the nature of language through comparisons of the language and study and their own. Cultural comparisons also mean investigate, explain, and reflect on the concept of culture through comparisons of the culture studied and their own. Now, culture and comparisons, those are my favorite parts of learning a different language for sure. Communities communicate and interact with cultural competence in order to participate in multilingual communities at home and around the world. School and global communities, learners use the language both within and beyond the classroom to interact and collaborate in their community and the globalized world. Lifelong learning, learners set goals and reflect on their progress using languages for enjoyment, enrichment, and advancement. And I think with my English being my second language, that's where I am right now. I am a lifelong learner, and I hope you get there with German. All right, so how can we develop these skills through YouTube videos? I want to talk about communication. So try to communicate with as many Germans as you can. These videos are providing you grammar and perhaps some interpersonal exercises and cultural nuances of German culture and traditions. And I'm also going to provide lots of vocab for you. But you have to take that step to reach out, read some German ads, watch some German movies, or listen to some German music. Most importantly, keep studying by watching more of my YouTube videos. Culture and connection. Expose yourself to the German culture. Look up German traditions, superstitions. I will also provide some separate cultural videos for you that help you discover different cultures. At the end of each video, you will also find some cultural tips. Cultural comparisons. Ask yourself how it looks like in your culture. Make comparisons. Ask yourself some higher level thinking questions. Why do Germans like bread so much? Communities. Reach out to Germans. There are many multicultural homes around the world. Reach out to people over blogs as well. So that was my first session for Learning German Made Easy. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like these videos and if you want to learn German with me, please consider subscribing and hit that bell in order to get notified when new videos are uploaded. Thank you very much. Dankeschön. Bis dann.